amazing people, you're welcome to my channel once again. My name is Gloria. If you're new, you're absolutely welcome. For all my returning viewers, God bless you. Like in my last episode, this is part 2 of the previous episode that I spoke about debunking some traditional myths, okay, of after having a baby. Let's run into our points. I stopped at number 7 in my last episode, and in this episode I'm going to be starting from number 8. What is myth number 8? Everybody gets postpartum depression, PPD. Now, I must clear the air here that this is not true. The fact that you experience it once doesn't mean you experience it the second time, and the fact that someone else experienced it doesn't mean you have to experience it. For my son, it was the first time I was doing my master's. It was a bit hard, like everything was a bit off. It was difficult. At some point, I almost fell into a bit of depression because I really had no help. First time mom, but I was able to pick myself up. Thank God for the support of my husband. Oh, my daughter, absolutely not. So that is why I say the fact that you experience it once doesn't mean you experience it again. With my daughter, there was no difference. It wasn't like I had help from anywhere. Still my husband. In fact, this second time I had a toddler to take care of alongside my baby. But honestly, I was alive, I was fresh, I was happy. So not everybody go into postpartum depression. So if you find yourself in a happy place with lots of support, happy people all around you, there's no reason why you should get into postpartum depression. Sometimes stop reading some things, okay? Just reading and knowing other things may just want to make you feel like, okay, now I've got it in that place, I think it's time to get into postpartum depression. No, that has been debunked. I know going forward, we're talking about postpartum depression and what I experienced in my time. Remember, baby blues is different from postpartum depression, okay? I think it wasn't more of a postpartum depression. Maybe it was baby blues. Sometimes you just feel like crying, which most moms do. It doesn't mean that, okay, you're dying tomorrow, you're dying today, all right? That has been debunked. Not everybody has to have PPD. You don't have to. In fact, speak to your body. You had the righteousness of God in Christ Jesus. You have peace, joy like a river. Our joy shall be full. He has given you peace, joy, love. And those are some of the fruits of the Spirit that you have. You don't have to go into depression, okay? Myth number 2. You will immediately fall in love with your baby. Hey! Hey. See, this is one of the wrongest myths. Well, not the wrongest. One thing I want to say is, if you don't feel that connection immediately, don't judge yourself. It takes time to build into it, you run into it. It's just like meeting anybody, you don't just, I love this person. It's love at first sight. It's not all the time. There's some persons love at first sight, but all the time you build trust, communication and all of that, and then you get into that space. Saying that you immediately fall in love with the baby, this is not always the case. For my son, that was the case. Yes, I immediately fell in love with him. After he came out, I was like, oh, my baby. I think I felt that connection almost immediately. But for my daughter, it wasn't the case. And this was because of different reasons. First of all, with my son, the connection came with the first time, mom, okay, well, this is the human being that's been in my tummy all this while. That bond just maybe came in immediately. My daughter, number 1, stress. I had stressed myself the previous day. In fact, I did snacks for a wedding because I went into labor and I was really tired. Stress number 1 didn't make me connect with my baby immediately. In fact, the minute they placed her on my chest, I was telling my husband, Doris, please take her. I was really tired. And I remember at some point I was even telling my husband, you've not given her a kiss. With my son, we're like, I've not even given her a kiss. I just had to hold her. Not because I didn't love her, but that bond didn't come immediately. So that was number 1. Number 2 reason was second child. Not that you are not loving your child or whatever because it's a second child or because it's a girl. No. I think sometimes you just have this pro mentality that just get into your head, okay, baby is out after, you know what you're going to face soon with the baby. Sometimes that may get into the way to say, okay, it's not a first child. I think a mom that has 2 children or 1 child obviously is different from a mom that is experiencing childbirth the 10th time or the 8th or the 5th time or whatever. It is different. The moods and the emotions are all different, and so yes, that may also get in the way. Number 3 point is, I may just be tired and recuperating. I'm like, just leave me alone to sleep, okay? I just want a me time. That may also be there. Another part is, it was still surreal. For my son, I had the epidural, so it was just push, no pain whatsoever. But my daughter, I had gone through hell. You can just birthing her. It is still surreal. Birthing without an epidural, I needed to just sleep. Okay, just sleep. Let me get my brain back, because I had gone through something that I'm new at. Like, I went through birth without an epidural, which was extremely painful. These are some of the reasons, and many more other reasons, why you may not be able to bond with your child immediately. So please don't believe that you must bond with your baby immediately. Initially with my son, even from the hospital, I could already feel his cry. He's crying. I'm like, oh, my son is crying. But when I got home, even I think it took up to a week plus before I started feeling my child cry, like my daughter. So don't feel left out. I think there was a time I was telling someone, I'm like, I don't feel the same I felt with Zoe. I didn't feel that same way with Petra. I don't feel that way when she cried. And they said, don't worry, you'll get into it. And that was all I could tell myself, Gloria, you'll get into it. And a week plus later, like when she cried, then it hurts me. Like then I started feeling it. I said, I think that was when I actually bonded with her after a week plus. So all children are different. Some may even get up to 3 weeks, a month. Don't give up. Keep trying, mama. But with the thought that you bond immediately, into the bin, okay? That doesn't work all the time. Myth number 10, you must bond with your baby while in the tummy. Mama, see, whenever my children are in the tummy, I don't even know what is going on. You are in your own world, I'm in my own world. I don't understand bonding. In fact, I was even thinking at the first time, am I a bad mom? They keep saying you're bonding. I remember my friend also saying that, Gloria, me too. I'm not feeling all this kind of thing. They're saying you have to bond. I'm not feeling this child. I said, don't worry. That was obviously the second time when I was going through it. I had gone through it before, so I know. I said, don't worry. When the baby comes, you feel the baby. But for the first time, I didn't know what's bonding out. Yes, I was praying and, we're speaking to the life of the child and all. But to say bond, I don't, nothing. Okay, I'm trying my best to protect you and protect myself. It's not a must that you must bond with the child while in the tummy. You don't even know this child, okay? You're just carrying the baby. Yes, I know there's blood, there's everything is connected to you and all of that. Don't feel pressure that I must bond with this child. Sit down and start bonding. You try, you work at it. It's a relationship, okay? That is a myth. That train into the bin. You don't have to bond with the child while in the tummy. Don't worry, when the baby come out, you will bond. With my daughter, I felt a bit more like I was more intentional. I was, with all negative reports and everything, I think I was more intentional in speaking into her life and just say, I can't wait to see you. But to say that emotional connection will be there, I'm sorry. I think it's a strong myth. Or if you think otherwise, put in the comment section. Postpartum myth number 11. Breastfeeding will take away the baby weight. Nah. Okay, before I even explain that, please subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. That will help me and that will help my channel to grow. Click on the like button. That will also help my channel to grow. Thank you so much. Breastfeeding will take away the weight. If I hear, okay, there are so many things that will take away the weight. Remember, the first thing is you didn't put on that weight in 1 day or 1 month or 3 weeks or 4 months. It took you 9 months to 10 months to put on that weight. So get ready to take as much time to lose it. This may not always be the case. I know for my first child, my son, I lost the weight within a month to 6 weeks. Like I went to my pre-baby board. I think at most 6 weeks I got my weight back. Me was even scared for me because I was drastically dropping everything. That helped me. I took lots of water, breastfeeding. But remember, I was a student. I was constantly going to school back to back. So I was stressed. That also helped me to lose the weight. But with my daughter, it wasn't the case. In fact, as I was breastfeeding, I was adding because I was eating back to back. I was actually enjoying myself. I didn't come to play after this time. I knew that, see, what's come to us, we'll lose the weight later on, because I had a mentality with my son that I would lose the weight while breastfeeding. So I fed myself a lot. I ate a lot this time. In fact, what I did was I started running, going for exercise, and then that was how I started losing the weight, okay? But to say you lose the weight just like that because of breastfeeding, it doesn't always work. Breastfeeding may help lose the weight, but it will not solve it. You have to exercise, especially if you have help. Those moms in Nigeria that have your mom, your mother-in-law, your sisters-in-law, your siblings, you have a child that is always there doing everything for you, runs here and there, washing machine, everything. That weight is like, we'll keep the weights and wait for you till like after 1 year. Before you start losing it. Don't judge yourself. All right, 12 is You will desire your husband immediately after having a baby. Oh, I beg to differ. All right, desire which husband? Where? From where? Now how? Some persons take months to desire their husband once again. It doesn't mean that the husband is not desiring their boy. It takes a while for them to desire the husband. That's why they give you time. If you had CS, they'll give you maybe 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, to recuperate. Like, that's just maybe a starting point. But if it's natural, maybe 6 weeks and all. So let time take its course. Yeah, so please don't feel pressured at all. Time will heal all wounds, especially for those who were stitched. That place needs to recover now, okay? Madam, breathe and give yourself some peace. Myth number 13. Postpartum depression only occurs the first few weeks after delivery. This is not true. Most ladies, they may not even have that postpartum depression up until sometimes they said it actually lasts up to 3 years. Postpartum depression may continue even up to 1 year, 2 years, especially when someone just had a child. It's a new terrain, experiencing motherhood, especially without help. Postpartum depression doesn't just happen to a wife alone or a mom alone. It may also happen to the husband, okay? And the fact that it happens doesn't mean that you will harm the child or whatsoever. But I think if it has gone beyond few weeks, please seek help. It is a myth that postpartum depression only occurs for the first few weeks, but no, it doesn't. When you see a friend that is going through that, speak to them, encourage them, love on them, okay? Show them support, and where necessary, please go for checks, go to your doctors, midwife, health visitor, speak to someone, and they'll be able to help you. All right, so this is the serious one. That is why I actually calmed down. The last point is you need a doctor's clearance before you start doing the do. Before you become intimate with your husband again. Honestly, this is off. No, it is not true. Yes, I know doctors will give you 6 weeks to 8 weeks to get yourself back. That doesn't mean that you have to obey them. For me, it was earlier than that earlier than expected and greater than imagined. NSPPD. For my first child, I think it was, I don't want to say the exact time I started. But no, you don't have to. It's a myth. You don't have to wait for your doctor to clear you before you start being intimate with your husband again, okay? You can start as soon as you feel good. Just be careful. You don't want to open the bridge once again. You have to be careful when you do it. But nonetheless, you don't need a doctor's clearance. That's a lie from the pit of hell, okay? You can start and enjoy yourself. Before you go for your clearance, I remember going for my clearance for my doctor at 6 weeks checks, and the doctor was like, "Are you active again?" I'm like, "Yes, doctor." And I was laughing. That's it. That has brought me to the end of this episode. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up. I really hope that I was able to debunk them a bit. If there are other myths that you know or you've heard of, please put in the comment section. This will help us as well. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. This would give me an idea of some of the topics to bring to you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Take care. See you in another episode. Take care.